the aquarium. Okay, what did you think? Did you like the coral reef or the kelp forest better? Well, what I'd like for you to do is think about an animal that lives in the coral reef. I'll give you a hint. It looks like Nemo, a clownfish, and then an animal that lived in the kelp forest and could hide and camouflage in the kelp, and that was a seahorse. So these are two options that you can make today. One from the coral reef and one from the kelp forest. So I'm not going to do every single step with you today, but I'm going to show you the materials and get you started. You can pause the video to get your materials, and then you can look at the video again to see how the finished product looks. But let's start with our clownfish. What you're going to need for all our crafts today are just some plain paper plates. And remember, I've said before, if your paper plates are decorated, usually the other side is plain and white, so you can do a decorated paper plate and use the plain side. So to make our clownfish, he has to be, or she has to be, orange and white stripes. So I'm gonna get a marker. You can use a colored pencil, you can use a crayon. I'm just gonna use a marker, and I'm going to make, so 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 stripes on my fish. So I'm gonna come and do a couple stripes. So take one that curves this way, and then one that goes a little more straight, and one that goes a little bit more straight. And it doesn't matter how you space them out because each fish looks a little different. Then one that curves again this way, maybe a smaller curve, and then maybe another straightish kind of one. Okay, so when I'm done, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. And every other space is going to be colored in orange. So you can start either way. So if I color this one in orange all the way, this one will be white. Then I'll color this one in orange all the way, this one will be white. I'll color this one in orange all the way, and this one will be white. Then I'm going to take my second paper plate and I'm going to make what a clownfish has. It has a tail, it has 2 little top fins, and it has 1 bottom fin. So I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to use like the edgy part there, bridgy part, and I'm going to draw. And I can use a crayon, I can use a pencil, a bigger tail. Then I'm kind of going to draw like a medium-sized one. And then I'm going to draw, and I'm going to keep these ones a little flatter, like, and curve them. 2 more like little ones. And these 2 little ones will be the ones that go on the top of your fish. The biggest one is its tail, and the medium one is its bottom fin. So the next thing I do, because I have to make sure the top of it's very, very black, because there's stripes, is I just make sure that's very, very black. And after I make sure that's very, very black, all of these get colored in orange. So orange crayon, orange pencil, orange marker. If you have paint and you want to use paint, you use paint. So you color all these in orange. And then after you color all these in orange, you're going to cut them out. And you're going to put them where they need to be on your fish. You can use glue or tape along the back, okay, like I did there. And then don't forget, when you're finished with your fish, whichever way you're making his face go, I'm going to make my clownfish face white this time, that you give him an eye. And then you take a little sliver out, just a little sliver, for its mouth. Okay, so I'll cut that. And this is my clownfish body, but he'll be all colored in, like the one you see here. And then I'll cut out my different fins and tail and place them where they belong, okay? So that's how we're gonna get started if you decide to make a clownfish that lives in the coral reef. If you want to make a seahorse from the kelp forest, you're just going to take 1 paper plate and you're going to draw your seahorse. I start it like this. I start it like a rectangle, and then I brought it up and I used the bumpy part of my plate to make like the seahorse's, that part of his head. Then I stopped and I came here to the bottom part of this triangle and I started to almost like make a C, but then I kind of came back in like to make an S, and then I squiggled back around so you could have a tail. And then I connected the tail, almost like making a really long rectangle again. Followed my bumpy stuff up to here, and then I gave him his bumpy fin. And I used the bumpy part of my plate. So after I drew that, I made sure I gave him an eye. And then before I cut him out, because we know seahorses are usually boys, I colored him. Again, crayons, markers, colored pencils, whatever color you want to do. You can make them all one color. You can make him different colors. So just like in school, we're going to color before we cut because it makes it a lot easier that way. So if you want to make a seahorse, that's what that's going to look like when you're done. That's how we got started with our seahorse. Okay, so clownfish lives in the coral reef. Seahorse lives in the kelp forest. Then you saw some really cool live webcams. One of them that you saw was the Shark Lagoon. Okay, so we can make a shark if you'd like to out of your paper plates. You're gonna need 2 paper plates to make your shark, and this one's pretty easy too. So you take your very first plate and you decide where you want your shark eyes to go first before you color anything. So you're gonna draw your shark eyes. Marker, crayon, color, pencil, paint if you wanted to paint it. Okay. Now after I have my shark eyes drawn, I'm gonna color my shark in gray. My whole shark is gonna be gray. Gray, 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 gray. So I do this big gray shark. So pretend I'm coloring him all the way gray. So when I get finished with this shark, he'll be colored in gray like this. Now, here's the trick. I'm gonna cut out a mouth for my shark so I can make teeth. So bigger triangle than I did on my clownfish, okay? So when I cut out the gray part of my shark, so now he has a mouth like this one does, I save this because this becomes my shark's tail, okay? Then I'm gonna take my next paper plates. Remember I said we needed 2 paper plates for this craft. And on this one, I'm gonna draw some jagged teeth, almost like if we were making like a scarecrow or a jack-o'-lantern, right? So I'm gonna do some teeth, like bop, bop, bop. And I'm gonna do them again, bop, 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 for the top teeth and the bottom teeth. I'm gonna do a big fin for his top fin. And then he should have a little bottom fin. I think my shark's bottom fin fell off, but he had one. Okay, so then you're gonna keep your teeth white when you cut them out. You're gonna color in your top fin and your shark's gray, color it all the way, and your little fin you're gonna color in gray, and you're gonna color in all the way. Then you'll cut those out. Remember, we're using the part of the mouth that we cut out for its tail. Then we'll cut out, put his teeth on and his fin, and there you will have a shark from the Shark Lagoon if you want to make a shark. Okay, and then we checked out 2 live cams of jellyfish. One was called a moon jelly, and that one was pretty much all white, and then the red nettle kind of looks like a little brown, a little pink, a little red. Cool thing about the jellyfish is you can make 2 jellyfish out of 1 paper plate. So the first thing you're gonna do is take your paper plate and kind of fold it in half. So now you have like a nice crease here to cut. You're gonna cut your paper plate. And then I liked my jellyfish to not be completely straight across. So then after I cut my paper plate and I had like this straight line here, I kind of just went in and did like a little wavy cut. Not too big, but back and forth, a little wavy cut on my plate. Okay, and you could even put your plates together when you do that, so that you only had to cut it once. I'm cutting it twice because I didn't put it together. And then you can decide what color you want to make your jellyfish. Right, and again, if you're going to give your jellyfish a face, give them a face before you color them in. So I'm going to give this jellyfish, I'm going to make this one have eyelashes this time. Maybe this will be like a girl jellyfish. I don't really know if they're girls and boys. We should probably research that. But, okay. And then I'll color then this jellyfish. Maybe I want to make this jellyfish look like this. With eyebrows. And then I'll color in this jellyfish. And then anything you have at home, you can use strips of paper or even scraps from your paper plates that you cut to make your tentacles for your jellyfish. You can use like tissue paper, and I just had some different ribbons. So this one was supposed to be my red nettle because I put the red on it for my jellyfish, and I just taped the little tentacles to the back. And then this one was supposed to be my moon jellyfish, and I used more white string for it, and I just taped that onto the back. And you can be as creative as you want and as colorful as you want with your jellyfish, okay? And you can color them on the flat side or the bumpy side, it doesn't matter. So when you're all done, you can have your very own aquarium of the Pacific with a clownfish, a shark, a seahorse, and some jellyfish. All right, so I can't wait to see what crafts you make. I really hope you had fun at the aquarium today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, firsties.